What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick, mobilizing a fire team for Operation Baby Dog Cactus, and today we have some brand spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, unveiling official information. And so, let's get started. Now, quite a few things did happen in Destiny 2 this week. At Reset, the Tracing the Stars 3 quest became available. This is the third step in the pretty lengthy exotic quest to eventually get that Stasis exotic trace rifle, so check that video out if you haven't found all of the Atlas SKU locations for this week. Then of course we have a brand new area in the Shattered Realm. So if you want to go in there and find all of the chest and anchor locations, I've also done a video on that. And lastly, your boy may have found the best and by far the easiest DPS strat in Destiny 2. Guys, we are melting raid bosses in the blink of an eye with nothing more than a legendary fusion rifle. Definitely, if you're going to check out one video, it's gotta be that one. However, moving on to the new news revealed in today's TWAB. So firstly, Bungie actually put out a separate article, a celebration of the fact that it's actually the 7-year anniversary of the Destiny 1 release. And in that article, Bungie talks about how insane that initial release was, especially for E3 of June 2013, so long ago when Destiny gameplay was first unveiled. And really interestingly to me, they also showcased a bunch of original concept art. And this always stands out to me because I've found that a lot of the times you can kind of predict the future by looking at the past in terms of this concept art. A great example is Europa. Europa existed as this piece of original Destiny concept art that was kind of before Destiny 1 was even released, and Bungie sat on it for years and years, but eventually went back to that concept, and now we have Europa in-game as it released with Beyond Light. So sometimes they do come back to these original concepts, and that is always an interesting thing to think about. But moving on from there, tomorrow, Friday, we have the first Trials of Osiris weekend of Season of the Lost. And this is a huge deal because Trials has been completely overhauled since we last saw it. Now, I did do a complete breakdown video on this overhaul, so click it, it's linked up above if you want to check that out, but very quickly, here are the high points. Firstly, it's no longer about wins, it's about round wins. So you can lose a game, but as long as you won a couple of rounds within that game, you're still making progress towards pinnacles and rewards. And speaking of rewards, Saint 14 has been redesigned to be just like Shaxx and the Drifter and Zavala, etc., where playing games and winning rounds will give you reputation points to level him up along a certain path, where you can get guaranteed rewards and also trials engrams. And actually, as you can see, you can focus these trials engrams into whatever loot you want, including flawless loot. So if you go flawless one time and get that loot piece, you can potentially just keep grinding the activity for the rest of the weekend, never go flawless again, but keep focusing engrams to target farm that piece of flawless loot. And that is really, really exciting. Not only that, but there's a brand new weapon on offer, the Reed's Regret Legendary Linear Fusion Rifle. It's actually a stasis fusion rifle, and this thing has some saucy rolls. Particularly, it can actually get triple tap, the first fusion I believe to ever be able to get that, combined with Vorpal Weapon, and combined with the Particle Deconstruction Artifact mod. This could potentially become one of the best DPS options in the game. So here are a few quick-fire patch notes to expect for tomorrow. Firstly, the reputation internal systems have been rebuilt again, but you're going to actually gain more reputation per match based on the number of round wins you have on a ticket. Again, it's not about overall game wins, it's about round wins. Then in terms of passages, they're now account scoped. So you can start a passage on your Titan and continue it on your Warlock. You no longer have to buy a brand new one on a different character. So the passage of Ferocity is now available right off the get-go. The passage of Wisdom is gone. Passage of Wealth now requires 7 wins, and unlocking a passage now unlocks it for the rest of the season. Also, they replaced the weekly 3, 5, and 7 win challenges with a win rounds challenge. So a new 7 win challenge is available on Sept 14, and they removed weekly bounties altogether. Also, they've made changes to the overall rule set. So now when you're playing, the round timer is actually reduced all the way down to 90 seconds to prevent camping and super farming in the back of the map. Also, each round starts with fresh special ammo, so you're no longer going to be able to get a bunch of special and keep that going into the next round. Crossplay must be enabled to participate in Trials of Osiris, and they added a third-person restriction so you'll no longer be able to 3-peek. And lastly, Trials now requires the purchase, this is a big one, of the current yearly expansion. So you will need to own the Beyond Light expansion if you want to play Trials. And I know to a lot of free-to-play players that's probably pretty annoying. You had access to Trials just last season and now it's gone. But this will go a big way in preventing cheaters, because once you ban an account, they're going to have to rebuy an expansion instead of just creating a new free-to-play account in 2 minutes, right? So, these are some huge changes, but almost all of them are just to accomplish the singular goal of making Trials more accessible. So if you're someone who's never played Trials of Osiris before, you've been avoiding this playlist, you've heard it's nothing but sweat lords and so on, this weekend and this season is really the time to try it out. It is going to be significantly easier to get Trials loot than ever before. And then moving on from there, the last thing we're going over is an upcoming hotfix, hotfix 3.3.0.2, and it's set to launch next Thursday on September 16th. So, most of this just has to do with bug fixing, but there's a couple of things you definitely want to know about. Firstly, strike streaks will no longer be broken. So right now, sometimes it'll just break your streak kind of randomly, even though like you're supposed to be able to go to the helm and do some inventory management and get back into strikes, and it should still keep your streak. So if you are planning to farm strikes for some loot, potentially wait until September 16th. Additionally, the Danger Zone perk will now correctly grant more blast radius on rocket launchers, so if you're wondering why that perk doesn't seem very good, that's why. And really importantly, the Dawn Chorus Exotic Warlock helmet will correctly extend burn damage on enemies. So again, right now, if you've been using that helmet, it hasn't been working as intended, but on September 16th, it should be significantly better and feel more powerful to utilize. Alright guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.